Hello friends and welcome back to the Mothership. Today I'm going to show you how to make my favorite pulled pork and my absolute favorite barbecue sauce, Kansas City style. This is my homemade recipe, I love it. And on the other side we're going to have these delicious Kansas City barbecue pulled pork sandwiches. Let's get started. This is an 8.5 pound pork shoulder. Let's get it out of its cryovac and see what we're working with here. So this pork butt does not have skin on it, which is nice. It's got a little bit of a fat cap, but it's actually kind of thin. Maybe pull this down slightly, but this doesn't look like it needs a lot of trimming. Oh, shaved that a little too close. Maybe. That looks pretty good. Let's flip her over and see what this side looks like. Nothing too crazy. Maybe a little bit of this needs to come off. In general, that looks okay to me. We got our bone on the side over here. Yeah, I think this is fine. Now, if you've followed any of my cooks, you know what's going to come next, guys. Big hunk of meat. First thing that we are going to do is get some salt on this sucker. So I always salt my meat before I put anything else on it. That lets me dial in the salt content. And for me, I usually put between a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of kosher salt per pound of trimmed meat. For me, this is about 8.5 pounds, like I said, which means there's a whole bunch of salt that needs to get onto this animal. I always start with the fat side because I don't care about that side as much. Honestly, not as much will be absorbed, but just get some on there. And then we'll start moving it over. Make sure we get the sides. But what matters most to me is this meat side here. There's not a lot of fat that's going to impede the salt absorption, so just go crazy on this side. Perfect. Now what I do is I just take a wire rack, toss my meat on top of it, and put it in the fridge. Now my goal right now is for all that salt to get absorbed, so I'm just going to leave it in the fridge until that happens. Usually takes about an hour or two. You could definitely just leave it overnight, which I might end up doing. It is the night before I plan to cook this. Obviously this is going to be a very long cook with this large cut of meat. So if the salt gets absorbed, I can put the rest of my rub on. If not, I'll do it in the morning before it goes onto the smoker. But either way, you definitely want to make sure all the salt gets absorbed. That way it leaves a nice empty exterior for us to put all that good stuff on that's going to make us our fantastic bark. With our salt absorbed, I'm going to get a rub on here, guys. I'm going with my Supernova coffee rub. This is a really, really good rub for pork butt, especially with the Kansas City barbecue sauce on at the end. It's got obviously some dark coffee in there. It's got some cocoa powder. It's got some brown sugar, some spices. It's really, really good. Now you might notice that I did not use a binder. Well, that's because the longer I do this, guys, the more I realize that you don't really need a binder, especially if you're putting salt on first. The moisture coming out of your meat from the salt usually is good enough to get some tackiness, which is all you really need to hold your rub on. The only time I really use a binder is if I want a particular flavor from the binder. So like if I'm doing gochujang or something like that, that will get me that flavor that I'm looking for. But in general, I just don't bother with binders anymore, pretty much for anything. I just don't see the need. But as you can see, I start with the fat side always. My goal is to get most of the rub on the meat side, not the fat side, because the fat's probably going to lose some of it just by nature of the fat rendering. But what I want is to get it all on the meat sides, especially the sides of the whole cut as well. And in general, that's pretty good. We are going to be wrapping this at some point. We're going to add some more flavor in there, sugar and some fat. And then we are going to put a sauce on at the end. So you're going to be getting a lot of sources of some fantastic flavor onto this pork butt. But now that being said, this is ready. You could throw this onto the smoker as is. For me, I am going to put this into the fridge. I weighted it up. I let my salt absorb. Then we got our dry rub on. Tomorrow morning is when we're actually going to put this on the machine. But that's going to allow it to adhere a little bit more and get some more time for everything to meld together. So tomorrow morning, guys, we'll get out there. We'll get the kettle going and we'll toss this on. It is a nice freezing cold New England day, but it's time to get this on. I'm going to put fat cap towards the heat source, which in this case is going to be up. And I'm going to have the bone facing towards the fire as well. So that's going to make it something like that. Bones here, fat cap up. Then I'm also going to toss some wood chunks on. And I'm going to continue putting wood chunks on. Oh, look at that. This is frozen. to get a bunch of smoke on here as we go. And then just let it do its thing for a while. 5.5 hours in, and we are at the stall. We have 166 degrees internal. Been running at 250 basically the entire way, but it is time to wrap this, guys. So let's get inside, get in some tin foil, and move ahead with this cook. And here's our pork butt. So what we want to do, guys, is we want to wrap it, but we want to add a whole bunch of sugar in here and some extra fat. Now, this is going to look like a lot of sugar if you've never done one of these before, but trust me, we're going Kansas City style, guys. It's supposed to have a bunch of sweetness to it. But this is a big cut of meat. So you know what? Even though it looks like a ton of sugar, which it is a lot of meat, so it's fine. It does even itself out. But basically, I just coat the top of our meat in a decent coating of sugar. That looks pretty good to me. And then I'm going to add in some butter in here. This is just your standard salted butter. If you have like rendered lard or tallow or anything, that would work too. But butter is what most people have lying around, so that'll do. You could absolutely put more in there, but that's probably going to be fine. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a little boat. As you can see the tin foil underneath here, guys, I have one sheet this way and one sheet this way. That means that if I poke through one of them, it's not going to go out the other side. It kind of just creates a better seal. We're going to start by covering this up into a little boat here. Then I'll add a little bit of liquid. Now, I didn't actually end up spritzing it all. I didn't really need it, but I have this cider left over, so I'm going to add a little bit to the bottom. That should be fine, just a little bit of liquid. Because basically what you're doing when you cover it in tin foil is you're essentially steaming it. That's what speeds up the cooking time. So we've got some liquid in there. We have our butter, we have our sugar. And now let's just cover it up. And would you look at that? It looks like I didn't add enough tin foil. Oh, no, we did. We're good. Perfect. Just make sure everything gets nice and coated up. That looks good to me. Just a big package. That's what she said. And this is going right back on the smoker, guys. If you want to bump up temperature, like if you're running a pellet smoker, you could absolutely bump it up to like 275. That would be fine. I'm going to keep running it. My target is always 250, but you know, when you're running wood like that or charcoal chunks, you're going to fluctuate between 250 to 300. So probably somewhere in that 260, 270 range most of the time. But this will definitely speed up the cook. Back onto the smoker we go. And now's about the time we start thinking about making our coleslaw and making our barbecue sauce. All right, 8.5 hours later, and honestly, I just pulled off the pork. I didn't need to show you guys that because basically it was wrapped up and you can't really see a difference. But it was probing really nice and tender. Temperature internal was about 199 degrees. And now it's gone into my toaster oven at 140 to hold temperature until we're ready to eat it. But honestly, we need to make a coleslaw now. So I'm going to take a whole bunch of cabbage and toss in my food processor. And then I'm going to toss in some carrots. And then lastly, some red onion, which I know some people don't put in their coleslaw, but I actually like it in there. I do mostly cabbage, then a little bit of carrot, and even less red onion. Boom. Now I'd say that's a pretty good mix. Now this is going to go into a bowl. You can do a whole bunch of different types of flavors with your coleslaw. Some people like the traditional stuff, which is like either mayonnaise or they do like a vinegar based. We're going barbecue based because, you know, we're making some good barbecue. So I'm going to get this into a bowl, mix it in with some barbecue sauce, and it's going to be perfect on our sandwiches. Now our pulled pork is resting, which means it's time to make our barbecue sauce. And to be honest, this is probably my favorite barbecue sauce. This is the one I do the most. This is the one I'm going to name the UFOBBQ Sauce. It is my favorite. I've been working on this for a very long time. And I've not shared on this channel, so this is the first time, guys. It is a Kansas City style barbecue sauce, which means it has a lot of sweetness. And it has a little bit tart. It's really, really good. It's good on everything. Better than most store-bought sauces, in my opinion. But we're going to start with a whole bunch of ketchup. And just like everything, guys, full recipe is down below. Now, caveat, I have been working on this for years, so it's entirely possible I'm going to change it in the future. If you're interested in getting the updated version, check out the website, which I'm sure is somewhere down below, and that's where I'm going to keep it up to date with what I'm doing. But right now, this is the way I'm doing it, which is a bunch of ketchup, and then a bunch of tomato sauce from a can. And of course, you got to spill all over your counter like I do here. Then a bunch of brown sugar. Because honestly, Kansas City sauce is sweet. That is the point. We're also going to do some molasses, unsulfured. You'll find in your grocery store. I also toss in a bunch of butter. And then we go to the dried ingredients. So first we're going to start with some garlic powder, chili powder, onion powder, paprika, kosher salt, a bunch of black pepper, not really measured, a bunch of mustard, not really measured, and a bunch of cinnamon, not really measured. And then because it's a liquid that I want to reduce, I want a bunch of liquid, so I'm doing a full cup of apple cider vinegar. Now these are all of our ingredients, guys, but you can still screw it up. What you gotta do now is reduce it by about half, and you gotta keep stirring it. Honestly, if you let anything burn, you're gonna get a bunch of burning flavors in there. It's gonna really ruin it, so you wanna just keep stirring it at a low temperature and make sure nothing burns. Half is what I wanna do, so pull it down by a bit. It's gonna really come together, be a little bit thicker. It's gonna be really, really good, but just keep stirring it. I can't stress that enough. Keep stirring it, otherwise it'll burn. But I'm gonna throw it on my burner now, and maybe take about half an hour to do that. Now this barbecue sauce has simmered down, which is great, but we're gonna set it aside and let it cool off. And while we do that, it's time to pull this pork. Oof, this pork butt won't even get into the container without falling apart. Which, to be honest, is kind of what you want. All right. Usually I would have a beautiful pull where I'd pull out the pork shoulder, but you know what? Like I said, really, really hot. Didn't want me to put it into the container even. Whew, super toasty. But all you want to do is just pull apart the connective stuff. It should just be like butter, basically. If it's not like butter, you didn't let it cook long enough. But if you took it to like 200 degrees, 198, I think I pulled mine around 199, honestly. And with pork shoulder, it's like everything else. You want it to pull apart when the connective tissues are kind of completely disintegrated. And that's that probe tender point where you put your probe in. It feels kind of like hot butter. That's where we took ours to. But when you're cooking pulled pork on the grill and it's freezing outside, and you get to a point where, you know what, it needs to get pulled in, but it's already been wrapped, there's not really any reason for me to film it. And I'm sorry I didn't do that for you guys, but it's really cold outside. Anyway, get all this pulled pork mixed together, pull apart everything that needs to get pulled apart. You can see these different cuts of meat like this. You can see how different color this is and some of this over here. Everything mixed together. All the really dark pink shit in there, that is our smoke ring in there, so you know we got a decent amount of smoke. You can see the darkness. This right there is the bark. Fantastic. But that being said, this is now done. This is pulled. Everything looks great. It's time to make some sandwiches. We got our barbecue sauce. We got our coleslaw. Let's get some buns. And let's throw together a sandwich. Could toss a little bit of this juice on there. Now, if you had followed my channel for a while, you know my favorite rolls are the King's Hawaiian Sliders. They are the absolute best. But you know what? We always have some of these Martin potato rolls, or just potato rolls in general, because they are my second favorite bun. I love them for burgers, love them for everything. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Take some of our pulled pork, toss it on top, try to throw some on the counter because spilling is essentially what I do all the time. Take a little bit of our coleslaw mix, and then take some of our barbecue sauce and pour it on top. Oof, that looks good. Now you guys have seen me make pulled pork before. I love using that coffee rub on there. It's fantastic, especially with sweet barbecue sauce. And over the years, or I guess 2 years since I started this channel, I've always said my favorite barbecue sauce is sweet. Well, this is my favorite barbecue sauce. I've been working on it for a long time. Next time you guys get a try of it. Honestly, it's super sweet. It is Kansas City style, but I love it. We use it all the time. It's one of my favorite things ever, especially with this rub. And on pulled pork sandwiches, I mean, it is truly the absolute best. Now, I love my pulled pork sammies with a little bit of coleslaw on there. And I tried to use a food processor today, but it definitely kind of turned into like something like couscous, which is a little bit more than I'd actually want to in the future. But experiment anyway. We have a bunch of cabbage, carrots, and some onion in there. And we have a little bit of barbecue sauce. Usually I would mix barbecue into that, mix it together, have a barbecue slaw, and then toss it on top of the sandwich. But that looks really good to me. Smells great. Usually I would toast the bun, which I did on the off camera. And most importantly, now it's time to get the old-fashioned chomp and see how we did.
That is one of my favorite bites, guys. This is one of the things that got me into barbecue in the first place. I love a pulled pork sandwich. I've been working on this recipe for a long time. Everything comes together. This is what barbecue should be. I have a playlist with my top 10 barbecues that we do. Basically, I'm trying to show what we do on a regular basis, and this is probably up there. If you guys end up trying it with the coffee rub, I'd love to know what your thoughts are and how they interact together, because I think it actually comes together really well. Now, you know what I'm going to say, guys. Absolutely try this one. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. But the most important thing is you guys should get out there and cook something absolutely fantastic. Whether or not you try this recipe or not, cook some Kansas City style pulled pork sandwiches and let me know what your thoughts are. And as always, cook something fantastic, and I will catch you on the next UFO barbecue. Bye-bye.